What's up, dude?
How's it going?
Good. What'd you do this weekend?
Uh,
I saw some social meds posts.
yeah, I worked on my trails a little bit.
Those were enjoyable for me.
That's good because it was a lot of work for me.
Yeah.
It didn't okay, so one of those.
It just looked like you one sweep and all the debris was gone.
Yeah.
Just back and forth.
One of those time lapse videos that you saw, was literally 10, 15 minutes long. And I guess the iPhone must convert. I think it changes. So I think if your time lapse is 30 seconds, it does it more frequently, captures it but if it's 5 to 10 minutes, it captures it even less. And that is not what I wanted at all. One that I recorded with the GoPro, and it can do every half a second. Okay. And I like that look because I can do a small section.
Yeah.
And you still see all the work.
The iPhone chose how many frames basically to show in your however long of a clip.
I'm assuming because there's a video that I took that was probably 10 minutes of me trimming and everything with the weed eater, but I didn't post that one. And it was not even 22 seconds long. One that I did with my GoPro that was 4 minutes was much longer, 45 seconds long.
Interesting.
And then I did that where I was building the little log ramp thingy, laying it out just to kind of get the structure of where I wanted it.
Yeah.
That was not a long video at all. The iPhone took that one just fine. Right number of seconds, right number of frames. I mean, it just seemed right. I don't know. I was confused by the whole process.
I wonder if that's something that you can edit in iMovie or if it's just this is what you get.
I looked for settings somewhere and I couldn't find them.
Oh, man.
So I don't know.
Man, that's
I don't know.
frustrating.
But from now on, I'm just going to use my GoPro just because it's easier.
Yeah.
Because I can just put that up there and just let it go and know it's every half second. And what'd you do this weekend?
I played in a softball tournament on Saturday.
Yeah.
For a guy on our side of 30.
Mm-hmm.
That's a scary thing to say. Yeah, I'm going to go do that.
Yeah, it's the most dangerous sport
So I was
to 30-year-old men. I'm dead serious. I know so many people.
So I was
injured.
texting you Friday night, and I was like, "Hey, do you think that compression socks would save me from a ruptured Achilles?" Because at our age, not being professional athletes with the best medical staffs around.
Yeah.
A ruptured Achilles is the end of our careers as far as trail running and all that stuff goes.
Yeah.
Because it takes a pro athlete, a football player, a year to come back from that specific injury. And even then, it takes them a few more months to trust it, that it's fine.
Right.
If I blew out my Achilles, that'd be it.
Yeah.
I'd be done.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I would.
For now until forever.
I get small knee twinges every once in a while, and it's months.
Right. Right.
And that was not tearing anything. That's just an ache and pain.
So, best case scenario occurred. We had an 8 o'clock game, which was the first game of the day.
Mm-hmm.
We were on 2 different fields. So we played the 8 o'clock game. I had plenty of warm-up time. Took a softball to the mouth.
Oh.
Which...
Told you. Most deadly sport.
Most deadly sport there is. Took a softball to the mouth in warm-ups, which is just...
Oh, it was warm-ups, too.
Yeah, it was warm-ups. So
okay.
I texted my wife, showed her a picture of it and everything, and she goes... Her reply was, "This is not what we practiced." But...
You're supposed to catch the ball with your glove, not your face.
Yeah, I ran all over the field the first inning, and then they literally never hit to me again. So while I was warmed up was when I did all of my sprinting.
Nice. Perfect.
And then didn't have to run hardly the rest of the game.
There you go.
And all the rest of the tournament got rained out.
Well, it did get...
One game and done.
Kind of rainy.
But my shoulder and my... What is this back here? Is this your traps or is this your traps?
I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
Down your side. Behind your ribs.
Yep.
All that sore
your
from
rib meat.
Throwing. My rib meat. And my quads and hammies are feeling it a little bit. It's been a while since I've done sprints.
Oh, man. Sprints are dangerous. I'm telling you. Softball in your 30s is a bad idea.
So I get home and I'm like, I'm just so glad I didn't get hurt. And Laura goes, your lip is huge. And I was like, yeah, but you know what I mean. I was worried about muscle injuries.
I don't care about this moneymaker.
Right. Yeah. My face is fine. I'm on radio.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I got on Amazon this weekend and I ordered a chicken and an egg.
Uh-huh. Which came first?
I'll let you know.
Yes.
Man, that was a good one. I got you good with that one.
I think I pulled a muscle.
I think softball didn't end yet. It was the chicken and egg joke that pulled the old rib meat. Well,
That was good. I like that one.
yeah. So this week, I think we are going to talk about, I'm going to talk about some
Yes.
Disney Plus stuff.
Yeah.
And some Apple TV stuff. And you had some stuff you wanted to talk about?
Yes. I have a topic. It's still a secret. You can find out on the other side of the bumper music.
Oh, man. That's such a long wait.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Lunchtime Tech Talk. I'm Chad.
And I'm Mike. All right, seriously. The
You
other
don't-
side of the bumper
No more
music.
suspense?
No more.
Okay, Mike. What would you say if I told you you could get a beach house in Destin, Florida for $32 a month
What?
for the next 30 years?
Yeah, sure. Uh-huh. Right. How many timeshare meetings do I have to sit through every time I go?
Okay. The real catch, which is no catch.
Uh,
There's sort of a catch.
No catch, real catch, sort of a catch.
Jimmy John's is giving away a house. The only stipulation is it must be in their delivery territory. Now, Jimmy John's has freaky fast delivery, right?
Yeah.
Their rule is they will not set up a delivery zone more than 5 minutes from a store. So, the house is $250,000 towards the purchase of a home.
Okay.
Has to be in their delivery territory. So I immediately started looking up addresses in Gulf Shores, Pensacola, Destin,
Yeah.
ultimately.
Uh-huh.
So the Gulf Shores didn't work because their closest location is Foley, which is like 30 minutes.
Okay.
So no addresses with water view. So I move on east,
Mm-hmm.
get to Pensacola, same deal. They're like 9 miles away.
Mm-hmm.
So nothing, can't do 9 miles in 5 minutes
No.
anywhere.
No.
I get to Destin and I'm looking around and I get a hit. So here's the specs. It's a condo.
Mm-hmm.
It's 184.9.
Okay.
It's a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, like 600 some square feet, right?
Okay.
Estimated rental income, $12,000 to $15,000 a year. There's going to be prize tax associated with this. Any prize. We'll just assume 50%.
Oh, okay.
Because that's usually about what it is with the lottery.
Okay.
So I'm just, rough estimate.
Yeah.
50%.
I believe
Okay.
you. That just
So
that sounds-
half of 185 is 92.5. I don't just have 92.5 sitting around. So we take out a mortgage
Right.
on 92.5. Any bank in the world is going to approve that because you've got 50% equity in it. Okay. So 30 years on 92.5 at 4.25% interest, plus insurance, taxes, and this condo has $533 a month HOA. There's a lot of facilities available.
Okay.
And that covers water. You have to pay electric. So all of that is $1,282 a month. Now, if you get rental income of $12K a year, then you're short $282 every month. And that's worst case scenario.
Mm-hmm.
But if you get the $15K a year, then it's $32 a month out of your own pocket.
That.
What say you?
Well,
I'm
I'm just wondering, did you win? Because
No, but I thought that this was a fun topic for...
yeah, I mean, why not?
Right? Why not?
You would have a place to go to whenever you wanted.
Yeah.
Plus, you would have rental income.
Yeah.
And it's a condo. You pay HOA, so you're not. That's like one night. That right? HOA is $350 or whatever you said a month. That's like
$533.
Five. Wow. How did I even mess that? I took all those numbers
You
backwards.
switched them. $350.
Yeah. So that's like you rented out a couple of days a month, right? And that pays for that. More than likely, you're going to rent it out more than a couple of days a month.
Right.
And then soon, that will be income for you. And you don't have to take care of the land, the grass, or any of that stuff.
Right.
Most of those condo rentals will even have somebody come around and like change out your air vent, your filters, and your
heater. They had part of that was building maintenance.
Yeah. Go for it.
Yeah,
If you win this would be fantastic. So what was the reason for that area? Why did you choose? Because I mean, to me, it seemed like you could pick anywhere in the U.S., right?
Right.
That was 5 minutes from Jimmy John's.
Right.
So why that area?
Well, I was recently in Gulf Shores, but Gulf Shores and that, far west panhandle of Florida.
Yeah.
Very drivable for Missouri.
Oh, yeah.
I looked at some spots in the mountains in Colorado. Nothing. I mean, you can live inside the city of Denver.
Yeah, I was going to say, you'd have to be like in the city.
Anything that I found that was kind of a little more secluded with a view,
Yeah.
you're too far away.
You're going to be in the city.
So
somehow.
Destin just happened to work out that you could be on the water and still be close enough to town that there was a Jimmy John's there. I was also lucky that was the third town that I checked. And it worked. And then I went on to try to find something in the mountains and I just was like, whatever. I found a place.
Well, I think it's a good location. I mean, it's an easy drive to get there, right? I mean, fairly easy for us. How many hours is that?
It took us 13 and a half to Gulf Shores, and it's probably another hour.
And then if you only but then if that eliminates, all of the hotel stuff. Right. You're not renting a condo when you go down there.
It costs you a couple $100 to get down there and back, plus whatever your food is.
You could drive.
Yeah.
Or, with the money that you save, you might even be able to fly and just take an Uber to it because you're just going to be at the beach. Yeah. You don't need to drive anywhere. Right. And you got Jimmy John's, it's freaky fast. Yeah. That could deliver your food for you. Yeah. So, when does this contest end?
I'm not sure, actually, but it's live right now. And no purchase necessary, blah, 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 blah.
I'm sure you entered.
I haven't yet.
Somebody's going to find that condo. You better get on this before Thursday.
There are plenty.
Yeah, that'd be awesome to win something like that. It's kind of like that, locally, they do that dream house thing.
Right. $100 for a ticket. Actually, they do that all over the country.
Yeah. I mean, it's been going on for how long here?
Over a decade.
Yeah, it's been going on forever. And I know I've had a few people know people who have done work on the house and stuff and all that. And man, you put in $100, you win a whole house. Right. So the tax thing,
of course, then you end up, you pull out a mortgage on half of it.
Is that how that works? Why is the taxes so much? Why are they so much?
Because it's a prize.
So you have to pay half the taxes? I wouldn't want to win the house. I wouldn't want to win anything. Yeah. Could you sell it? Yeah. So you could get it. You could win it. You could take out the mortgage for half the house.
Sell it.
Sell it.
Pull in all the profit of half a house.
Gotcha. But then would you have to pay capital gains on it since it was a prize?
Yes.
Oh my God. There's taxes all over the place. Forget it. This is too much work.
No, here's the thing. You'd have to pay capital gains because it's your secondary residence, not your primary, and because you didn't hold it long enough. Yeah. And because you're not then buying another residence. The reason you don't pay capital gains on a house typically is because it's your primary residence and you're immediately buying another place.
Right. Or you've been there for 2 years.
And so you just roll it in.
Right. Isn't there a 2 year
Well,
thing?
it's 2 years or a max. Oh. So, if you were one of those people who 40 years ago bought a house in Colorado for $50,000 and now it's worth $1 million, you pay some money on that.
Yeah. The government is like Lil Wayne. tax on tax on tax on tax. I mean, I don't even want to get started. There's so much tax. It's overwhelming. But dude, I hope you win.
Yeah, it'd be pretty sick.
You got to enter though.
I do got to enter. I haven't done that yet. I'm gonna.
Well, did you see that Disney had what they call their D23 conference?
I saw this.
Yes, this was like all over the news. I didn't even know about this until this week.
Yeah, and it's a thing.
Yeah.
I never heard of it before.
I knew that they had some conference, but I thought, leading into it, we would hear a little bit more, but I didn't pick up on any of it. Must not have been in my search radar or something.
I guess.
But yeah, people were talking about it. Well, we all know that Disney Plus is coming out, and that's super, super exciting.
Yep.
Well, it's $6.99 a month, as we know, unless if you pay for a year, then you get it a little bit cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
But there were some stats that were actually released that there's going to be like...
On the topic of pricing.
Yeah?
At the conference, did you see that deal?
Was it the Hulu ESPN thing?
No.
Oh, whoa. What are we talking about?
So if you were at the conference, you could join what they're calling the Founders Circle.
Oh.
And you could get Disney Plus for 3 years for $140.
What?
Which was $23 a year off of their annual price.
Oh, clever.
Yeah.
Nice. Man, that's a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
I bet you the majority of the people that were there signed up for it.
Yeah, and you got a little like lapel. They said a pin, and I'm pretty sure they spelled it PIN.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be like a lapel pin.
Yes.
But maybe it was a PEN, which would still be cool.
Yeah,
But
either way,
it was like a Founders Circle.
Man, for 140 bucks?
140 even.
For 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you went to that conference and you didn't sign up for that, you probably didn't know it was happening.
Right.
I mean,
you just missed the memo.
Right. Yeah, if you're going to be invited to that conference or go to that conference, you're probably super stoked about it anyways.
Right.
But yeah, so they said that there's going to be 500 films on Disney Plus and 7,500 show episodes.
Wow.
That's crazy, right?
That is. That's a lot of tent.
That's Every time you say that,
it makes your CPU skip.
it spikes my CPUs. I'm like, what's he mean by
Process 97%. Oh yeah.
Does he think we're talking about camping? This isn't the Coleman podcast. This is the Disney Plus podcast right now. But yeah, no, that's a lot of content to be out the door.
Yeah.
But we knew that they were going to have a lot. But when you see those numbers, you're like, wow, let's just say 7,500 show episodes, right?
Yeah.
Let's say they're 30 minutes long. I don't think I could ever consume that much.
No.
That's tons.
I don't think a person could ever in their lifetime consume everything that Disney now owns.
That's so much stuff. Some of the stuff that was kind of exciting that they announced were all the Marvel stuff. There's some new shows that are going to be coming out. I don't know a lot about the Marvel universe, but like we've said before, we work with a guy named Brian, and he knows a ton about this stuff. And so they're coming out with Miss Marvel, which is a comic book character that is the first Muslim cartoon or comic book character. And she was created back 70s, I think, is whenever she was created.
Yeah.
Then there's the She-Hulk, which I thought was a brand new thing, but apparently that's been around since before the 80s.
Right.
So they're going to come out with that one. And then they're coming out with this other one that I'm actually kind of interested in because I like the darker comic book style stuff called Moon Knight.
Yeah.
And apparently this is some character that talks to like some Egyptian type thing. It looked pretty neat from the short little clip that I saw. It was just kind of dark, kind of like what I envision, like the Dark Knight and all those, how they made those series a little bit more grim type thing. I'm not a big fan of the
gritty and
I'm just not a huge fan of the like super bright spandex type superheroes. I like the ones that like hide in the dark and like Jessica Jones was good. I like that. Luke Cage, I like that.
Yeah, so all the graphic novels that are black and blue and take place at night. Like
Yes.
that's what you're into.
Yeah, if I'm going to watch one, that's going to be the thing that's going to draw me into it. So those look pretty neat. They had all kinds of other ones that they were, had up on the screen, whenever they were showing their slides. But then they got over to the Star Wars stuff. And of course, there's a mass number of Star Wars fans. I mean, Star Wars is so big, but apparently they're coming out with a new Obi-Wan Kenobi series. And that's a really big deal, I guess. I guess the guy who played Obi-Wan Kenobi is actually going to come back for this series. So.
Like the original 1980s?
No, the dude that
okay.
played in the more recent one.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's going to be in there, which is kind of cool. They also played a trailer. This isn't going to be on Disney Plus yet, but you can bet that it will be after it gets released, is The Rise of Skywalker. And that's going to come out to theaters on December 20th. And I guess that, from talking to Brian, that is the last of all of the Star Wars that we have seen.
Of the 9.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this will be a pretty big one for it to be released. But just like all the other Star Wars stuff, I bet you'll see that on Disney Plus after it gets out of theaters.
So here's my Star Wars history.
Okay.
I had seen bits and pieces of the original 3 here and there, but had never seen a single one all the way through.
Mm.
When Phantom Menace, episode 1?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. When episode 1 was in theaters, my cousin and I went and saw that. And that was the first Star Wars movie I had seen all the way through.
Mm.
Did not see 2 or 3.
Mm-hmm.
When did I do that? Sometime in the last year, I watched 4, 5, and 6 all the way through.
Okay.
Like, basically one right after the other over a weekend.
Yeah.
And so I've seen those. I saw a preview, and I haven't seen anything else.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't seen Rogue One or any of the spin-off ones.
That one's good, Rogue One.
I saw a preview for Mandalorian.
Yeah.
It looks so good.
Yeah.
And I think I know enough about the universe to watch it and enjoy it.
Yeah. Is that the one? I saw so many clips of these things over the last day. I can't keep it straight. Is that the one where they had the stormtrooper like helmets like on spikes?
Yes.
Yeah, that did look good.
And the mask with like the T cut out for the eyes and nose.
Yeah. Now that is a series, I believe, that's coming out on Disney Plus, right? I think that's another series. I don't know. Is it a series or a movie?
I think it was going to be released. It looked like a movie to me.
Yeah, I can't keep them straight of which one's a series and which one's not. But
yeah,
it looked really good.
It did.
Seeing those helmets on spikes,
and
it was
the only
like,
words in the whole trailer at the very end, it said something about like being a bounty hunter is tricky business, isn't it?
Yeah.
And he just turns and looks. No other words. Like, that's it. And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, sick.
Yeah. Disney's got this on lock, man.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing with this stuff. And the fact that they can just shell out like content or tent, is what fans want. Because how many years did Star Wars fans go without a movie?
Right.
It felt like forever. And then now all of a sudden it's just like one movie after another. Every year a new movie. And now they're getting series.
And they wanted 7, 8, and 9. And Lucas wasn't ever going to do them. And I had heard, which you know how connected I am to Hollywood. I had heard that he was never going to do 7, 8, and 9 because he was worried that he would start them and then, you know, he's a little bit up there in age.
Yeah.
But he would start them and not be able to finish them.
Right.
And so he just wasn't going to do them.
Yeah.
And then he sold Lucasfilms and all of that.
You know what's really weird?
What's
Go
really
ahead.
weird?
You go ahead.
I was going to say, speaking of selling Lucasfilms, I saw this little tidbit of information.
Mm-hmm.
Hasbro acquired the company behind the kids show Peppa Pig for $4 billion last week. $4 billion with a B. Disney acquired the company behind Star Wars, Lucasfilms, for the exact same price in 2012.
Wow.
I don't know what else the Peppa Pig people have.
Kids. Lots of little kids.
Sure. But it's got to be more than just Peppa Pig. That's insane.
That's crazy. If you look at anything that is like young kid related, parents will do anything to entertain their kids. And Peppa Pig has been around since my kids were little bitty TV watchers.
But to acquire everything that is Star Wars for $4 billion, like, sure, they've got merch and everything, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I do wonder, like, I'm sure this is the case, like Lucasfilms was acquired, right? It was bought by Disney or whoever. And I wonder, like, what kind of deal other people got for royalties. Like, is there still royalties going out there?
Oh, yeah, who knows?
But you know what I find interesting about it is George Lucas is like the one who created this whole Star Wars thing. Mm-hmm. And I believe he created the whole thing.
Yeah, he created the story.
Yeah. But there's so many people that I talk to about Star Wars that are really into it that are like, oh yeah, he was awful. He was awful for the whole thing. And I'm like, I don't get it. Like, he is, like, I figured he would be like the Mecca, the guy who's like, oh yeah, he's the ultimate. But then there's like these people who are like, no, his vision for it wasn't very good. Like, he started it.
I have heard, so I listened to a podcast that is in LA, and so they have some inside connections and stuff. But I've heard them say that the reason the first one, episode 4, the reason it was so good is because Hollywood execs kept reining him in. And so, like, he didn't get to do exactly what he wanted.
Yeah.
But here it is. And they were talking specifically about episode 6 with the little Wookiees, the little bears.
Yeah.
Like, that was him being able to do exactly what he wanted.
Yeah.
And that's one of the ones that I think people dislike the most.
I love that one.
I kind of like those little guys.
The little Ewoks. And
Ewoks, not Wookiees.
They look like my dog.
Yeah, they do. They do look like your little dog.
Yeah, so that's what's really funny about it, is that a lot of people didn't like that episode, but as a kid, that was like my favorite episode or series, whatever movie. The one with the Ewoks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's all the Disney Plus stuff I have, but I did want to mention Apple TV Plus, since it's kind of coming out this fall also. There's not an official release date. I'm sure we'll get more at the Apple event of knowing about the release date. But Bloomberg said that they figured out what the price is going to be. They figured out that it was going to be $9.99 a month. Now, this doesn't sound too bad, but they don't have the content.
There's no way I'm paying $10.
I will pay
for Apple TV Plus.
I will pay $10 for at least a month to kind of view it, to kind of see what's going on with it. The big thing that they're really pushing right now is that morning show with Jennifer Aniston and Reese Witherspoon and Steve Carell.
Yeah.
I've seen a few like trailer type things about it, and part of me is like, oh, I think I'm going to like this. And then the other part of me is like, I don't know if I'm going to like this. Like, it's, I just wonder what they're going to throw out, you know, to us. Like, is it really going to be $9.99 a month, or are they going to come out with a combo deal? Because I know that you had commented on a tweet that we had mentioned, and somebody you knew, you tweeted at them, and they made the comment of like, probably not going to do this unless they come out with a bundle.
Yeah.
And cause I had made the tweet about like, the Apple Arcade possibly being $4.99.
Right.
And the iCloud service that I pay for is still $9.99.
Right.
Granted, that's the largest amount of data I can.
Yeah, 2 terabytes.
2 terabytes. Yeah, but what's going on here, Apple?
The pricing's all over the place.
Yeah, you're $10 here, $5 there, $10 here. It's like, and then the music. Like, if you want a family, I don't know. It's just, they need to bundle it. It's just so much. It's overwhelming.
Which I can understand them not announcing a bundle yet, given that everything's not out yet.
Yeah, yeah.
But once everything's out, there's got to be something.
If they say this fall, we're going to release Apple Arcade and Apple TV Plus.
Apple News Plus is already out.
You got Apple News Plus.
Apple Music is already out.
Music. You've got the iCloud services. So let's just say let's just say I keep my iCloud service at $10. Let's say I do the TV service. That's $10. That's 20. I do Apple Music, and I need to do the family plan because I've got a family.
Which is another 13?
I think it's 13. Let's call it 15. Just
okay.
Easy.
So 35.
35. And then I subscribe to Apple Arcade. $40 a month for services. Oh man, they've got to bundle this. Like I could see.
Would you do it all for 20?
I would try it all out because it would only be $10 more than what I'm paying right now, right?
Right.
And then I would get the TV and the arcade thing, which I am interested in the arcade thing because Kate likes to play video games.
Yeah.
And you can buy a PlayStation or an Xbox controller and you can
Right.
actually play the games either on your phone, your iPad, or the Apple TVs. And that's kind of interesting to me for her. So, but we'll see. She's all into like Minecraft and Roblox, so these games might not be of interest to her.
Sure.
So, yeah, definitely hoping that they come out with a bundle. I will try it if it is $9.99 a month, but I don't know. I don't know if I'll keep it. There's probably just not enough content. They're going to have to really be impressive.
Well, they're not going to have 500 films and 7,500 shows.
It's true.
And they're going to be an extra $3 a month.
It is true. I'm definitely subscribing to Disney Plus.
I was looking around this morning trying to see if I could sign up yet.
It would
You
be
can't.
nice. No, you can't.
I did see a report from The Verge that Disney is all about making sure the service doesn't crash those first few days.
Because you know it's going to be hammered.
Can I tell you I'm bummed?
Why?
So we work at a government office, and we're off on Veterans Day, which is November 11th.
Oh, okay.
Disney Plus launches November 12th.
Oh.
I could have done nothing all day long and sat on my couch and watched, Marvel movies or whatever.
Yeah.
But no, next day.
So I wonder, I'm sitting here thinking about all this, and there's a lot of services out there that you can pay monthly for. HBO is one of them.
Yeah.
What if Apple is not trying to be the next Netflix or the next Disney Plus with just a ton of content, but they're trying to be the next HBO? Like they're trying to get in
A
with
really big, awesome show?
like really big shows, like ones that you're like, you know what, I have to see it. Game of Thrones style. What was the one with the gangsters on HBO? I'm drawing a blank. Sopranos. What if they're trying to be that, like more like
Billions and yeah, HBO always has that kind of show where they're not producing 100 shows a month, but they're producing big, expensive, have to see it. But that's also a service that is part of a larger subscription that still a lot of Americans have.
Right.
Right. You have to have enough eyeballs on it to get the buzz going.
Right.
And if you are forced to pay $10 up front, it also then has to get your attention enough to click on it, to start playing it.
So I wonder if they're going to do free trials.
They have to do free trials.
So one that I heard of, somebody thought of, was what if they just release like the first 2 to 3 episodes of everything they're producing, and you get to watch the first 2 to 3 episodes, and anything after that you have to be a subscriber.
That would actually make more sense to me, because with binge culture, if you gave someone a week free,
they would watch all of it.
They'd watch all of it.
It wouldn't matter how much there was.
Right, and then there'd be spoilers everywhere, and it wouldn't matter. But yeah, if you only get, like the first 2 or 3 episodes of a 10 series.
Yeah, it'd let you try it.
A 10-part series, yeah.
And you'd be like, you know what, this is worth $10 for this month. I'll do this so I can watch this series, and then maybe you get hooked on another one. And then while you're
signed up, you watch something else, and
yeah,
I could see that.
Yeah, they maybe that's their goal, is to be the next HBO style, which to me, could make sense because they're not competing with necessarily Disney Plus,
right?
But they're still going to be producing enough, having enough viewership to make money off of it, because they've got just a ton of money. Yeah. This is a fun fact. I don't know the exact figures, but this morning show, sitcom series or whatever it is, I don't know if it's funny or not. It's hard to tell.
It is hard to tell.
It's very hard to tell. I'm assuming there's going to be humor, but there's going to be serious stuff in it.
Maybe like The Office. The Office you would definitely call a comedy, but there were moments in that show
that were serious.
That get your heart. Yeah.
Apparently, they signed up for 2 seasons. Apple did. They said, we will produce 2 seasons of this show. The season per episode cost so far, each episode cost more than any episode of Game of Thrones cost to produce. And this is for...
How?
It's all got to be staff. I mean, you got Jennifer Aniston, Reese Witherspoon, Steve Carell. Like, they were talking like something like $320 million.
For the season?
I think. Episode?
No. $150 million per season.
$150 million per season.
So $300 million for the 2 seasons.
Yeah.
So that's like, if it's a 10-part season...
So I think it's 6 episodes.
6?
Yeah, it's like they're going the British style on
I was going to give them the benefit of the doubt and say $15 million an episode, but yeah, that's...
Yeah, maybe that sounds about right. So it's like 20-some million an episode.
Yeah.
Which is crazy considering that this is like a sitcom style show, right? Like like Game of Thrones has a lot of CGI and costumes and...
Aniston and Witherspoon are going to be paid $1.25 million an episode.
Dang, I'm in the wrong career, dude.
Right? If only you had known 20 years ago to become super huge and famous.
Yeah. If I would have known something 20 years in advance, I wouldn't need to be famous to be rich.
Right.
I've often said if I only had like a 3-second lead, I could possibly figure this stuff out. They need more than 3 seconds, obviously, but if you just had an hour lead in advance,
well,
you could do small investments and make a lot of money.
For example, on Friday, I texted you at the end of the day, and I said, do you have any idea what happened to Apple today? Because there was just a cliff. And I ended up seeing that Trump fired up the trade wars again with China.
So it made them drop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like $15.
Dang.
From $2.15 down to $2 even.
Yeah. And
if you know that 3 seconds in advance and you can sell all your stuff.
Or buy whatever what's that called whenever you buy the opposite?
Oh, short selling or whatever? Yeah.
I don't know how any of this works. But, yeah.
But Apple goes up just as fast.
Yeah.
It can do a $15 swing. And if you can buy enough shares...
You don't even have to buy that many. You just start out like really small, right?
$15 swings are big.
And you just keep reinvesting because you know where it's going to go.
Right.
So that's all I had. So we'll see what happens this fall with Disney Plus and Apple TV Plus. All right. Do you want to do Crazy Tech?
Yeah.
All right.
Come with me. Hail Mary, this tech's crazy. What do we have here now? If you want to talk some tech... La da 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 da.
That is Tupac?
Yeah.
Yes.
I was like, you better get that. You told me he's one of your favorites.
I know. Well, he was definitely a high school favorite for sure.
Yeah.
Back in the All Eyes on Me days. So do you have a crazy tech?
I do have a crazy tech.
Do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Mine's fairly short.
Okay.
So there is an app called Picture This. And what you can do, it has a 7-day free trial, but it's $20 a year.
Okay.
I almost said $20 a month. It's $20 a year. You can take a picture of a plant and it'll tell you what it is.
Oh, that is cool.
Super cool. And this weekend I was mowing my yard and there was a vine coming through the fence and like leaning over into my yard. It's got 3 leaves on it. They're kind of jagged on the edge. I'm like, shit, I got poison ivy coming into my yard from my neighbor's yard. What is this? And so I just went to the internet and typed in, what plant is this?
Yeah.
And this app it was an ad.
Yeah.
But this was the first thing that popped up and I was like, whatever. And so
why not try it?
I downloaded it.
Yeah.
I took 3 different pictures.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
You know. And so the first one I took said black raspberry. The second one I took said Allegheny blackberry. and the third one said Himalayan blackberry. So it's a blackberry bush.
It's a blackberry plant, so you're good.
It's a blackberry bush. And so I was like, all right. And so I left it. I didn't spray it or anything. And then the next day, I was out spraying my plants.
Mm-hmm.
And in my front flower bed, there's this. Again, tons of 3 leaves and vines.
Yeah.
Right? And so I took a picture of it, mock strawberry. And so I was like, this is pretty cool.
And see, that one is probably even more dangerous because isn't it like if you see like a red berry on a poison ivy, that's how you can identify poison ivy. If that is like a mock strawberry and it has little berries on it.
So the saying is leaves of 3, let it be.
Mm-hmm.
Berries white, flee the sight.
Oh, berries white.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, that's always been the saying that I grew up with. But,
Yeah.
But anyway, so
I'm going to need to download that app because
That's pretty cool.
have a little tree.
well, yeah, you've got woods. And
Well,
you're in your trail building. You've got all kinds of stuff.
My mother-in-law gave me a poplar tree that was tiny. That was like 6 inches tall. It was really, really tiny. And I've been watering it and babying it, and now it's like 1.5 feet tall. And so, but inside the pot were these other 2 little plants were growing. So I separated them and I put them in a separate pot, and I thought, well, maybe this is another little tree. No, it's some vine, and I have no idea what it is.
Oh.
So I need to take a picture of it with this app and see if it'll tell me what it is before I destroy it.
It's pretty neat.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So that's an ash tree.
Yeah, that is actually awesome. So yeah. I'm gonna need to
AI is pretty cool.
I'm gonna need to download that.
Yeah.
What's it called?
It is called Picture This, and the app is like a little tulip, and underneath it says Picture This.
Yeah, the name is clever, but it's not clever enough to like make you know what it is. So they need to like heavily advertise it, which they obviously did.
They obviously did. It was the first thing that popped up on Google.
So mine, Crazy Tech, is KFC is doing a trial run in Atlanta on the 27th. So you got tomorrow. You can find a KFC in Atlanta, and they will have
tomorrow, which is actually 2 days ago by the time this
Dang
releases.
it. Yeah. It's too late for you people. But starting on August 27th, I don't know if it's going to keep going or if this is a one-day trial, but they've got this. There's a company called Beyond Meat, which basically makes plant-based
vegan meats.
Yeah, plant-based meats that are supposed to be pretty close to like
unrecognizable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're going to come out with boneless. I don't want to call them chicken because it's not chicken, but it's boneless nuggets that look like boneless chicken, like nuggets, like bites.
Yeah.
So yeah, now KFC's getting into it, and we were just talking about how a local place that we love to go. Well, it's not local; it's nationwide, I think, called Qdoba, and it's kind of like a Tex-Mex type place.
Yep.
They now have a plant-based meat. And what was it called?
Impossible.
Impossible?
Yeah.
Oh, Impossible. So, I mean, I haven't ever tried it because, if I'm going to spend $7-8, I'm going to buy the stuff that I know is good.
Right.
Tell somebody's like, hey, why don't you try this?
So Impossible and Beyond are like the 2 biggest players in what you would consider like tasting exactly like what you expect.
Yeah.
There's a ton of others, but I saw a tweet over the weekend related to this that said, for all of you carnivores out there, you need to thank a vegan because we had to endure endless black bean burgers to get you to this point.
Nice.
Yeah. So on that, I think it's interesting because like with the Impossible Burger that you get at Qdoba, like it's brown, gray, whatever you would call ground beef, whatever color that is once it's cooked.
Yeah.
And so like you can use black beans or soy or whatever and it go dark.
Mm-hmm.
To get nuggets, quote unquote chicken nuggets, you need white.
Yeah, how's that going to work?
I don't know. But there's got to be, not saying, I almost don't even want to say it, not bleach the product, but there's got to be some sort of bleaching agent
Yeah.
to whiten everything, right? Because if you bite into a chicken nugget, a quote-unquote chicken nugget, and it's anything other than white,
It's like
get out of here.
it's like black, like
Right?
dark black, like
Right?
a black bean.
No,
Oh god.
because it's gotta not only taste right, but it's gotta look right.
Yeah, because chicken's got that. Chicken's got a. I guess they could make them if they were going to be nuggets. They could make them similar to like how McDonald's does. Where
Sure,
it's not
they don't
like,
have to be full meat nuggets.
Yeah, like whole meat.
where you can see the strings.
But if they
of
can
chicken.
make it like whole meat, it'd be even more convincing.
Oh yeah, and you get the right texture and everything.
I'm not all into that stuff, but
Right.
it's just crazy how this is like. To me, this fake meat stuff just seems like so futuristic. Like something that we would have seen in like a sci-fi movie.
Right.
Like feeding like people on Mars where they don't have cows.
Like the slop that they use in Matrix.
Right.
It's just it's everything you need, protein, carbs, and blah, blah, blah. But God, it's dull,
Well, now.
But this stuff is actually, they're trying to make it good.
Yeah.
Here's what's going to be interesting. So I'm sure you saw, but social media lost its mind last week when Popeyes introduced their chicken sandwich. Most of the country completely sold out of chicken sandwiches
was this
because
like a
everybody was
competitor?
saying that it's better than Chick-fil-A.
Ooh.
Right?
That's
big talk.
That's
right?
big talk.
And so Popeyes has never had a chicken sandwich before. They released it. I didn't even know that they had released it. And then social media blows up saying that this is the best thing they've ever had.
Yeah.
And so, Springfield, we've got 3 Popeyes here. All of them were sold out. I called around because I wanted to try one.
Right. Yeah.
And
if it's that good.
Nope, can't get one.
Well,
So
that might be a lunch trip sometime.
here's what's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing how social media reacted to that chicken sandwich, what's social media going to do with KFC's Beyond nuggets?
Yeah.
They better be good.
They better be good, or I guess they better be good enough for somebody who is a vegan that wants to still have. That's the confusing part of it, right? Like if these are like catered towards vegans, then wouldn't a vegan not want to eat, or a vegetarian? No, that wouldn't even be right.
They still like things that taste and look like meat. They just don't want to eat meat.
Okay.
Here's the other interesting thing. They're launching this in the South.
Yes. I thought that
where
was an
fried
interesting
chicken
town.
is like it.
And maybe that's the reason. Like,
But
it's
that
so
can
good.
either go.
You're right. It's so good. We just say where fried chicken is like dominant, it will do good.
Right. For one day.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see. I mean, I would try it if it was a sample. I mean, that's what they're giving out as samples.
Oh.
Yeah, you want to give me a sample?
For sure, yeah. I'll
try
go
it.
in, I'll order my 3-piece extra crispy strips and throw in some
Throw me
Beyond
a-
on the side.
Throw me a vegan nug.
Which almost is even crazier. Like they're throwing it in your face. Like try them side by side.
Yeah.
Get your chicken that you're here for and try this thing alongside of it.
Yeah.
Tell us what you think.
We'll see what happens with KFC on the 27th. I'm sure it's going to be in the news.
It'll be
more so
interesting.
than what it is already.
Yeah.
But that's all I had for this week. How about you?
That's all I got.
All right. Want to tell them where they can locate us,
Yeah.
find us?
You can find us on the web at LunchTimeTechTalk.com. You can browse show notes and listen to past episodes. And you can find all of our social media links on that website too. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else that you can find your podcasts. Just search Lunchtime Tech Talk. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram at Lunchtime Tech Talk. You can find us on Twitter at LunchTimeTechT1. And if you want to throw us some bones, find us on Patreon, Lunchtime Tech Talk.
Yep.
You can find me at MSUMac. That's MSUMACC. Mike, where are you at?
I am at run_bike_Mike on Twitter and runbikemike on Instagram, YouTube, and Zwift, and probably other places that I'm not aware of.
Probably other places that I forgot setting up an account, but exist.
Exactly. So if you find one of those mystery things,
Let us know.
send me a message.
Yeah. And if you have questions or topic ideas, let us know. You can email us at lunchtimetechtalk@gmail.com or hit us up in our direct messages on any of our platforms.
Yeah, and we'd also appreciate it if you would rate and review us on iTunes.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
That would be awesome. And share us with a friend.
Yeah.
If you enjoy what you're listening to, I bet you have a friend that would also enjoy listening to it.
If you've made it this far, you probably enjoy this.
Probably. Episode 27.
27.
27. Same number of World Series championships that the Yankees have.
No idea.
All right.
See you later.
See ya.
Bye.